The Lord is my light and my salvation, so why should I be afraid? The Lord is my fortress, protecting me from danger, so why should I tremble? Yet I'm confident I will see the Lord's goodness while I'm here in the land of the living. Wait patiently for the Lord. Be brave and courageous. Yes, wait patiently for the Lord.
For so many of us, life today is getting harder and harder for all the reasons that we see on TV and hear on the news. And apart from the obvious financial implications, there are many who are experiencing circumstances that life has thrown at them that gives rise to grief, to depression and fear and anxiety. And perhaps during those times in our Christ following lives, our faith wavers. And it's hard to keep our focus on who we believe and know in our hearts is constantly with us to give us that sense of security and trust that God promises us. Are you good at waiting? Does anyone enjoy waiting? Like waiting in line at Home Affairs or at the traffic department to apply for the renewal of your license, waiting to pay for your 5 grocery items that's going to cost you 300-400 rand, waiting in a traffic jam, or waiting in the doctor's room for your appointment at 9:30, knowing that you'll only get to see him at around 10 if you're lucky. And then, of course, there are those times when you had the children in the back of the car. When are we going to get there? And we'll tell them, well, we're nearly there, just be patient. We plan our lives so that we won't have to wait. We want to keep on moving. And how many of us say, I can't stand waiting? And then there is that other kind of waiting. What will the lab results be when the pathology report of your biopsy comes back? And is there anything more agonizing than waiting for the dawn on those nights when your anxiety keeps you from sleeping? Is waiting a good thing for a follower of Christ? Well, I say followers of Christ can't afford not to wait. We have to wait. Waiting is a fact of life that none of us can avoid, but the waiting that I'm talking about is a way of life that people choose. Can you believe that some people would choose to wait? Well, many years ago, my younger daughter used to be a waitress at the Cafe Brasilia in Humewood to earn extra pocket money. She waited for somebody to be seated at her table. She waited for them to make up their minds as to what they were going to eat. She waited for the food to be prepared. Then she waits for them to finish so that she can clean up. And then she waits for them to pay the bill and hopefully give her a tip. Waiting was her job. As followers of Jesus, waiting should be our life. We should be or should become waiters on the Lord. But the very fabric of today's society pushes against this fundamental requirement for following the Lord. Why should we wait on the Lord? Are you in that place now of waiting? What does it mean to wait? Well, it means to be in a place, to continue to be in a place, to remain, to stay, to linger, to tarry, to stop temporarily and remain as if reluctant to leave. But the biblical concept of waiting is defined as to hope, to expect, to wait or look eagerly for, to lie in wait, to linger for. If we go through life alone, and by that I mean by believing that we don't need God in our lives, we believe that we don't have to wait for anyone. We are independent. But can we really depend upon ourselves when things go wrong, when we hurt, when we are depressed or grieving or lonely? Independence, in my view, then means nothing because it cannot help us. We need someone to depend on, and not only in the bad times, but somebody who will never fail us, who will never leave or forsake us, who will never let us go, someone who loves us so extravagantly. Independence is defined as the man who goes alone can start today, but he who travels with another must wait until the other is ready. Well, independence is great. You can come and go as you please, relying on no one. And you've got to admit that is so nice. With your independence, you can do things for other people and friends, take them to the shops, to the doctors, to the movies. But what if they are late and make you wait? You get irritated, you become impatient. In fact, you could become quite rude. But what if that time that you had to wait, in fact, saved you from being involved in an accident or allowed you to be the 100th customer in a store to win a fabulous prize? What if it allowed you to bump into somebody who could change your life? You don't know. We never will know. But we need to be waiters on the Lord because He knows what is good and right for us. So how do you become a waiter? You choose not to go through life alone. Who is the only one who can always be with you wherever you go? Who is the only one who will never forget? Because God is omnipotent and omnipresent, He is the only one who could possibly be with you all the time. And if we have chosen God to be our God, then we must wait on Him throughout our lives. Secondly, we must look for the Lord. Waiters on the Lord are aware of His ever-working presence in the circumstances of their lives. We must be aware. We must seek the Lord. In verse 4 of Psalm 27, it says, "The one thing I ask of the Lord, the thing I seek most, is to live in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, delighting in the Lord's perfections and meditating in His temple." The Message says, "I'll study at His feet." And my heart has heard you say, "Come and talk with me." And my heart responds, "Lord, I am coming." Seek Him. Look for His glory in creation every day. Invest in your quiet time in meditating on the goodness of God, what He has done for you in the past. Spend time in prayer, reading scripture, be in fellowship with others. Thirdly, trust in Him to do what is good and right for you. Depend on Him to defend you and protect you. Be confident in the Lord's ability, even though you are weak. He is strong and He knows better than you. The Lord is my light and my salvation, so why should I be afraid? The Lord is my fortress, protecting me from danger, so why should I tremble? When evil people come to devour me, when my enemies and foes attack me, they will stumble and fall. Though a mighty army surrounds me, my heart will not be afraid. Even if I'm attacked, I will remain confident. Fourthly, don't rush ahead. Depend on Him and accept God's gift of time to you. You are waiting because you are part of His kingdom. God, whose timing is always perfect, works according to His wise plan and at the right moment. And as you wait, He is doing something in and for you. He is crafting you into the person that His grace alone enables you to be. And then lastly, allow the Lord to renew you, to strengthen and encourage you. That famous verse from Isaiah 40. But those who wait upon the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. As the eagle depends on that unseen force of the wind to push him up and hold him up, we must wait on the Lord to hold us up. We can soar like an eagle high above our enemies of life, or we can walk with our own strength in the midst of our problems. It's our choice. We can wait on the Lord, and if we wait on the Lord, we will become who He wants us to be. So let me tell you a story. A young man who was passing by a chicken farm was struck with curiosity. He noticed an eagle, the king of all birds, living among the chickens. And he asked the farmer, "Why do you have this eagle confined to live in the barnyard with the chickens?" Well, the farmer replied, since I have given it chicken feed and trained it to be a chicken, it has never learned to fly. It behaves as chickens behave, so it's no longer an eagle. Still, insisted this young man, it has the heart of an eagle and can surely be taught to fly. So after talking it over, the two men agreed to find out whether this was possible. So gently the young man took the eagle in his arms and said, "You belong to the sky and not the earth. Stretch your wings and fly." The eagle, however, was confused. He didn't know who he was. He was comfortable with his life and was content with the farmer providing his food and being in the company of the chickens. Seeing the chickens eating their food, he jumped down to be with them again. Undismayed, the young man took the eagle on the following day up on the roof of the house and urged him again, saying, "You are an eagle. Stretch your wings and fly." But the eagle was afraid of his own unknown self. He was afraid of the world that he did not know, and he was scared to fly. So he jumped down once again to be with the chickens and to eat the chicken food. On the next day, the young man rose early and took the eagle out of the barnyard to a high mountain, and there he held the king of birds high above him and encouraged him again, saying, "You are an eagle. You belong to the sky as well as to the earth. Stretch your wings now and fly." The eagle looked back towards the barnyard, then he looked up to the sky, and still he didn't fly. Then the young man lifted him straight towards the sun. The eagle looked up to the sky, looked towards the sun, and began to tremble. Slowly he began to stretch his wings. He looked back once more to the barnyard, and then he fixed his gaze towards the sky. At last, with a triumphant cry, he soared into the heavens. And from that moment on, the eagle was living life as an eagle. Now, it may be that the eagle still remembers the chickens with a certain fondness and nostalgia. It may even be that he occasionally revisits the barnyard. But as far as anyone knows, he has never returned to the barnyard to live the life of a chicken. He truly was an eagle, even though he had lived the life of a chicken. Does your path seem uphill all the way? If you are waiting on the Lord, then you are learning to use the winds of God. The winds of God can turn our uphill battles into a delight. After all, God's promise is, "They shall mount up with wings." So let me encourage you to wait on the Lord. If someone you know and love and trust told you that they had a gift for you, but that you had to wait for some time, for a couple of weeks, before they could give it to you, the waiting may still be difficult, but it won't be pointless. The waiting will result in something wonderful and special. Wherever you are in life today, now, keep waiting on Him, serving Him with your whole being. Be the best waiter or waitress you can be for Him. The grace God gives us is a gift that we don't deserve, but it is given freely. And what a magnificent gift to wait for. And remember too that God has left the best for last.